The city of San Francisco experienced a unique set of events that precipitated rapid and continual growth through the 19th and 20th centuries. San Francisco was founded on June 29, 1776, by Spanish colonialists, but it was the gold rush of 1849 that brought a significant population increase and set the trajectory for the city's urban growth. By the 1950s, a sprawling population necessitated urban planning projects in the West Side neighborhoods and the construction of new freeways. These projects, which often had large citizen opposition, were occasionally halted before completion. This lack of infrastructure improvements eventually led to a population decline and contributed to the city becoming a mecca for the American counterculture. By the 1990s, the demand for skilled information technology workers skyrocketed as the local business startup market flourished. This influx of white-collar workers created a high standard of living in San Francisco, and this socioeconomic growth paved the way for publicly supported urban sustainability projects. The first of these projects began in 1993, when the San Francisco Board of Supervisors established an environmental commission and charged it with drafting a plan for San Francisco's long-term environmental sustainability. Entitled the 1996 Sustainability Plan for the City of San Francisco, this plan was a collaboration between the mayor, Willie Brown, residents, businesses, and civic leaders for the mutual goal of creating a long-term urban sustainability program. Mayor Brown prefaced the sustainability plan with the assertion that all of us have the responsibility to improve our community's quality of life and ensure a beautiful, healthy, and prosperous city for generations to follow. The sentiment embodied San Franciscan ethos, which sought to alleviate the stress of a burgeoning population with outdated infrastructure and a collective concern for environmental sustainability and disaster resilience. The sustainability plan itemized air quality control, biodiversity, energy, climate change, agriculture, hazardous materials, human health, parks and open space creation, water and solid waste management, and transportation as the areas for environmentally centered reorganization. The plan was developed with three major considerations. 1. The physical resources and systems that support life must be maintained, such that they can't be entirely used up nor be made unusable due to degradation. 2. The health of plant and animal populations must be ensured in order to support a thriving ecosystem. 3. A social structure must be created that is capable of achieving the preceding two requirements. San Francisco has since become a national leader of sustainable and clean energy development. According to San Francisco's Climate Action Strategy document from the San Francisco Department of the Environment, the city has been able to decrease its greenhouse gas emission levels to 28% below the recorded 1990s levels. When looking at the social pillar of sustainability, a few examples that cover this in San Francisco are the farmers market, home energy incentives, enhanced mobility, and pre-tax commuter benefits. San Francisco was actually one of the first cities to support farmers markets. According to the Climate Action Strategy Plan, there are approximately 200 operating farmers markets within the city. Farmers markets establish trust between the farmer and the consumer. It is also a great way to buy locally produced food and decrease the amount of energy waste and carbon emissions, since the food travels a shorter distance. According to the San Francisco DOE, there are home energy incentives in place to provide up to $5,800 towards home energy upgrades. These incentives will not only provide funding, but the support of an energy advisor and contractor to help make the transition to cleaner energy easier. According to the 2017 Agenda for Sustained Prosperity, the Chamber of Commerce is working to complete the Economic Development Plan and move forward with neighborhood housing plans. Mentioned in the 2017 Agenda, the Housing First policy, a 2018 charter reform provision, is in place to expedite approval of affordable and workforce housing. Finally, the Chamber is also joining efforts to ensure that vital housing and infrastructure projects don't fall victim to the not in my backyard strategies. Also mentioned in the 2017 Agenda, San Francisco's Chamber is invested in creating an efficient transportation network. This is being done to ensure commerce, livable communities, productivity, and a clean environment. In fact, employers in San Francisco are required to offer commuter benefits to help influence people's participation in sustainable methods of transportation. When looking at the economic pillar for sustainability, San Francisco's Chamber of Commerce discusses in the 2017 Agenda that a sustained economy depends on a lively business climate. The Chamber of Commerce plans on working with business, industry representatives, and legislators to ensure businesses are not burdened by overregulation. The Chamber is also working to formulate favorable public policies to sustain small business success in the city. as well as continued implementation of the transition from payroll tax to gross receipt tax in order to not hinder job creation. The 2017 agenda also mentions the Chamber of Commerce is working to advance events, industries, and projects in an effort to give life to the local economy. The Chamber is supporting large-scale projects and land use, planning efforts that will create housing, jobs, and economic benefits such as the Mission Rock development and the Warriors Arena. They are also creating initiatives to support the environment and create jobs in the green tech sector. They are doing so by supporting the Global Warming Solutions Act, Chamber for Innovation and Clean Energy, Go Solar SF, as well as multiple other initiatives. When we look at the environmental pillar in reference to San Francisco, we can look back at how San Francisco has been able to reduce its greenhouse gas emission level to 28% lower than the levels recorded in the 1990s. Discussed in the Sustainability Plan of 1997, this was achieved through assessing means of travel, industrial production, and power production methods. Through this, they established free zones, which are ecosystems of natural heat, and monitor pollution of air quality objectives. They also increase the use of clean fuel vehicles and continue engineering new building technologies. Also in the Sustainability Plan, San Francisco banned the use of non-environmentally friendly materials, such as plastic bags and styrofoam, forcing businesses to use environmentally friendly food packaging. And through Natural Parks and Planning Commission and projects that evaluate land use, they are protecting and restoring natural ecosystems. We can also view the urban forest and how they use it to benefit their environment. The local forest is used to absorb harmful carbon dioxide emissions from the air and create open green spaces and beautify the San Francisco area. According to the Climate Action Plan, the city currently has 700,000 trees that have accounted for a 0.09% reduction in carbon dioxide in the air. This means that trees are essentially repairing the damages that have been done to the atmosphere, helping improve air quality in the area. When it comes to energy production and energy use, there are multiple complicating factors that are discussed in the Sustainability Plan. Energy cost accounting conventions are different between the building developers that make decisions on efficiency of design and the power plant operators that produce the power. There are also few incentives in the commercial building industry for energy efficiency, because the firm that builds the building is seldom the one that ultimately pays the utility bill. Additionally, if the payback on the cost of a major energy-efficient appliance is more than 2 or 3 years, homeowners who anticipate selling their homes run the risk of losing their investments, since the appliance cost has little influence on the sales price. The plan mentions that energy use also has an impact on air quality, and the use of hydroelectric power has an impact on stream-side habits and fish populations. San Francisco also maintains environmental awareness of the negative impact that plastic bags have on the environment. According to San Francisco's Checkout Bag Ordinance, the purpose of the ordinance is to reduce the impact of disposable plastic bags on the city and the environment. This is done by prohibiting the use of non-compostable bags and charging 10 cents for each checkout bag provided to the customer. The ordinance is supposed to help reduce the amount of waste in the ocean and the city, and prevent contamination of recycling. In order to reduce the amount of waste produced by the city, the Food Service Waste Reduction Ordinance was made. This ordinance states that food vendors, restaurants, or any establishment that sells or prepares food in San Francisco have to use compostable or recyclable to-go containers. These containers can be made up of paper, plant fiber, polyethylene film coated in paper, plant starch based on bioplastics, aluminum, or plastic. This ordinance was created with the goal in mind of San Francisco having zero waste by year 2020. Coming soon to San Francisco, the Transbay Transit Center. According to the Transbay Joint Powers Authority, the Transbay Transit Center project is an ambitious transportation and housing project that will transform downtown San Francisco and the San Francisco Bay Area's regional transportation system by 2030. Known as the Grand Central Station of the West, the approximately $6 billion project will replace the former Transbay Terminal with a modern regional transit hub, connecting 8 Bay Area counties and the state of California through 11 transit systems. Once constructed, the new transit center will accommodate up to 45 million people per year and more than 100,000 passengers each weekday, and make public transportation accessible and a sustainable option for everyone who lives, works, and visits San Francisco. According to the Transbay Joint Powers Authority, this visionary project affect San Francisco's sustainable development in three ways: socially, economically, and environmentally. Socially, it will bring 11 transportation systems under a single roof and create a pedestrian and bike-friendly community where residents and workers have the convenient and safe access to public transit, shopping, open space, and other neighborhood amenities. Additionally, with the revamp of public transit, daily commute vehicles will be reduced from the peninsula, keeping people off the roads and generating more than $20 million in benefits from improved safety. Economically, this allows residents to live closer to work, reduce commute times, and increase productivity. The project alone will create an estimated 125,000 jobs. Through 2030, construction of the transit center and build-out of the surrounding Transbay neighborhood will generate more than $52 billion in personal income and more than $87 billion in gross regional product. Environmentally, the Transbay program is using a transit-oriented development model to slow global warming, reduce energy and commuting costs, resulting in reduced traffic congestion and commute times. This project also conserves land, particularly in sensitive natural areas, by reducing suburban sprawl. The downtown rail extension alone is projected to reduce 36,000 metric tons of greenhouse gas emissions annually, and when completed in 2030, it will reduce CO2 emissions by another 3.4 million tons per year. As an added benefit, Pelly Clark Pelly Architects will design a revolutionary 5.4-acre green space on the roof of the Transit Center bus and rail station. This will reduce urban heat island effect, take advantage of natural daylight, support San Francisco's aggressive recycling goal, and act as a wetland, creating a more resilient city. Based on the above facts given by the Transbay Joint Powers Authority, this project will be a huge leap forward in the sustainable development of San Francisco and other parts of California as well.